Hey, Slapper Smalley.
Yes.
What number is this?
This is episode number 175.
Ooh. Thank you for not calling me Slapper Patty. That's very nice of you.
Anytime.
Hi, Heidi.
Hi. Oops, sorry, I threw a pen. Hi.
Yeah, listen, look, if you're going to be angry, we'll just do this later. Fuck it.
I'm so upset.
You look it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see this, but I painted this background. I'm taking up painting. You like it?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, you're witnessing that. You're witnessing a Texas sunset right now. We should have been a rainstorm, but I'm up.
Are you at the lake house? I can't tell.
Yeah, I'm up in the wilderness. You can't see that.
Cool.
You can't see that.
I can't really make out what it is. Well, you're all blurry.
It's blurry
because of the.
I know everything. Yeah, everything's blurry. I don't know why.
You know how it gets when we're recording. Yeah.
Maybe if you guys weren't doing drugs before class.
The people who are watching will be able to see it perfectly clear.
Okay. Well, then behind me is
yeah.
You'll also be able to see that I painted a nice outdoor fan out there. Anyway, so welcome everybody. Nice to see you all.
Nice to see you too. It's been an interesting week.
Very interesting week. Let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, I've gained 15 pounds. Now we can move on. Well,
yeah. Besides that,
so we got back from the tour last week. And when we recorded last week's SlapperCast, some drummer, Eric C. Hughes, announced to us after we had switched off the cameras that he was effective immediately gone, no longer in the band, knowing full well that we had the 3-week tour out west, knowing that we had the dates coming up, and just basically just effective immediately. I don't want to tour. I don't want to do, because everybody's asking. They go, "Hey, what happened? What happened?" This is exactly what happened. You know, it was just a kick in the balls as far as the time go. You know, and I have to say at this moment that the clubs, the agents, and the people, the friends of ours that I had to call and cancel with, every single one of you, I kid you not, every single one of them has been so gracious and so understanding. And every single one of them said, your gigs are still there when you are ready to come back. So deepest thanks to them, and no fucking thanks anywhere else. You know, so so I'll be honest for a second. Somebody start the clock. Heidi, start the clock.
Okay. One.
Thank you. That's enough. So I was near tears. I think it was Tuesday, because Monday we had heard that Monday pulled the rug out. And then Tuesday we had announced it and let people know. And the amount of people that had phoned and emailed, called, texted, smoke signals, bat signals. I mean, telephone, telepathic. Pornographic, everything that you can imagine, people sent our way, and we cannot tell you how grateful we are. It's just been, it really was. It was a moving, everywhere, everybody, So again, it just goes to show the character of this band. Again, no, not patting my own back or our own, back, but. We have that reputation. Every single club understood, and they were just so understanding, and everybody else pitching in too. I've spoken to drummers and friends of drummers and mothers of drummers and sons of drummers. I mean, all over the country. I kid you not, and I've had just the greatest conversations with these people, and so again, I know it's long-winded. This has just been an absolute. It's been a gut-wrenching shock. Is all I can tell you. So in moving forward, I just want to say too that the social media thing has been a blessing in that the word got out quickly, and the word got to a lot of people quickly, and a lot of really good people quickly, and we got the response back. And then we've kind of been overwhelmed because it's been a week now, Tuesday, and. We've been inundated with really, really good players. That's the difference between this and the last time that this happened. The level of musicianship and professionalism has just stormed through. I mean, out through the stratosphere. This has been anyway. I'm coming back down now just to say. So we have been inundated with we've got a ton of really good drummers and committed people. So I just want to say for the record, we're trying to start with a full-time person. So we have a bunch of people say, hey, I can do the tour, don't cancel the tour. Well, we can't do that because our songs are all over the place, and they don't they stop and they change, and they Heide can attest to that. She's been the but So we can't. You can't go out. You can't dumb these songs down to where you can just play them A to B. Start to finish. Yeah. We have to keep them in there.
We've tried.
Yeah, we've tried, and we did it before. We did it with. I remember one drummer in particular that, I mean, counting to 2, he would break a sweat, and we played for a few months with him, and it was just. Yeah, it was atrocious, and it was to the point where some of the people that had seen us before and then saw them with him never came back. We never saw them again. Mm-hmm. So, it's been we've just been overwhelmed. We are talking to a bunch of people and drummers that will absolutely just light your fire, blow your socks off, whatever. It's just been. It's been staggering, and our deepest thanks to everybody for jumping in there and spreading the word and telling us. I cannot thank you enough. It just you're all beautiful, and I wish I could kiss you all right now. Thank you.
Yeah, the difference between what's happening now and the last time we went through a little drummer crisis in 2008 is absolutely staggering. Because Patrick and I were just talking about this before we hit record. That. In the middle, it was the timing was almost kind of the same. It was a different situation where we had a drummer who wasn't working out. We let him go at a time when we didn't have a whole lot going on. It was late summer. Patrick was about to go home to Ireland for 2 weeks. And basically, I think the only, looking at the old show schedule, which I pulled up, pretty much all we had on the schedule at that point for a couple of months was Fiddle. And Brian Vogel was still in town at that point, our ex-drummer, fixing to move away later that fall, I think. But he agreed to play all of our regional dates for us. He couldn't tour. So we figured, we got over a month. We'll find somebody before we hit the road. No, we didn't. And not only did not find anybody then, we didn't find anybody for the entirety of that fall. We were really, really struggling until it was later that year we met Mike. But that was not fun, and we didn't want to go through that again. And we want to make sure, because we thought Eric was the guy when we hired him. Obviously, he's not. Now we want to find the guy or the person, whoever it is, and actually take enough time to make it work and get them in and have them be part of the family without having to rush and tumbling over ourselves trying to keep up with the schedule that, frankly, had we known Eric was leaving now, we wouldn't have booked that tour. That's really the thing that's the most annoying about this whole thing. Now we have a lot now. And at the same time, we made that decision, as Patrick said, all these people, really talented people, getting in touch with us at the drop of a hat, really. And there's still emails coming in. Even today.
Well, in fairness too, and this is a little bit of history that we were, I'll say, tripped up, or we at least got caught up in a little bit of a kerfuffle, I'll say, because we did have which we're not going to do again. Just a little side note here. But we did get a drummer from out of town that said, yes, I'm gonna help you. I've learned the stuff. I know the stuff. I'm a fan, and the week of the tour, the week of the first tour, get a phone call and go, oh, sorry, my cat's neighbor's friend got an eye infection in their, again, we're not going to make that mistake again. And
just quickly too, that shows you how desperate the situation was at that point, because when we had that guy agreed to do the tour with us who backed out, we hadn't met him personally. Let alone even rehearsed with him. We were completely going on faith that we'd be able to make that work. But we had at that point we had no choice but to agree to that.
Ben Hales.
That's how crazy.
Yeah, Ben Hales Ben Hales is the only one, and Dan McCoy are the only drummers that we can walk on a stage today, Tuesday morning, and play a fucking show.
That's what Tuesdays look like in Livingston. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, so
good old Dan.
sorry, Heidi. We should have had you call in, like, but we just had to address. How are you doing, young lady?
Good. It's a little hot here, but we're good.
How hot, Heidi?
It could be like 110 today. I haven't checked. It's been really, really hot.
I
Oh
saw
my God.
I saw 112 on my dashboard today. 100, 112. Yeah, for drummers that break a sweat over.
Jeez. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have the monsoon clouds today too, so it's extra disgusting. It's just the air is so thick, and I like the dark clouds, but it's just like you don't want to go anywhere or do anything.
Yeah.
But we're good. Other than that, yep. My son just got his license, so now we're all scared for our lives. I'm just kidding. He's a good driver.
Of course he is. He's a basketball player. He's a dunker. He's a rambler. He's a gambler. That's great. Congratulations, Nick.
Yeah. So that's been exciting this week.
Tell him from me. Tell him the best, because everybody knows I'm the best driver. Just floor it and ask questions later. That's what I do. I was going to say something else. I've been up in a place called. Well, I've been up. My daughter and I have been up for orientation at her college. She's going to be in college this year, and I'm just it was the closest they ever let me to into a college, and it was very, 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 very exciting. Very exciting. So we're getting ready for big changes around here. So very, 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 very good. And what about you, young Smalley? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Finally got my car in the shop after calling a bunch of different places and trying to figure out what I was doing. So I wound up taking it to the dealership because there was a recall that I needed to take care of anyway. And so I didn't talk about this last week. My catalytic converter, when we got back from tour, the catalytic converter on my car had been stolen, just cut clean off. And I had no idea about this until now, because everybody's telling me, "Oh yeah, didn't you know it's the latest thing?"
It's an
catalytic converter theft is, it really is going through the roof. And as it turns out, particularly for cars like mine, I think Priuses are really a big target, and Honda Elements I think are like the two biggest targets.
Yeah.
So it's insane. And one of the reasons why Honda Elements are really easy targets is because they're so high off the ground compared to a normal
and
sedan
because
or
the
whatever.
catalytic converter is on the roof with a big sign saying "Over here, sailor."
Yeah, it essentially is like, come and get it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they're fixing that. I've had some other work I needed done as well, so I may not see my car for at least a week or so while they're ordering parts and stuff. But at least I finally made a decision, and I don't have to think about it for a few days.
Yeah.
So I'm very fortunate that my neighborhood, and one of the reasons why I've never moved, my neighborhood is very walking friendly, and I can basically conduct all of my immediate business without.
Is it like Memphis?
No.
Settle down.
No, Mark Cohn, no. So the next two shows we have at the moment, we don't know who's playing drums, but we know Chris Buckley will be filling in that weekend.
Yep.
Which is the middle of July. But beyond that, right now, it's just kind of where we're trying to it really kind of depends on how the new drummer experience goes.
Yeah.
We may be playing a lot of local regional stuff, which should be able to pull together pretty quickly when we're ready.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And we're going to we said this the last time, or we said it quite a few times before, but I'd like to, with the permission of whoever is behind the kit, I would like to put some, because obviously we're going to be sending stuff to Heidi and say, "Hey, what do you think?" But I would like to put some stuff on there. Just some clips on there, especially for the Patreon head. Just to give you a little sneak peek into what we're working on. I've seen some of these videos and talk to some of these people, and the abilities and the passion that these people are working with is scary to me. It's just scary because there's good and bad with just about every person you work with. But these guys are just powerful and hands like God, just hands of thunder and it's just magnificent. So we've been contacted by just some incredible players.
We already kind of touched on it, that we were kind of stunned at how quickly and positive the response has been, and enthusiastic as the response has been from these prospective players. But it does just pat ourselves on the back again. It just shows you how much work we've been doing the past 14, 15 years, getting our name out there and the reputation that we have. So
yeah, well, I harken back to that last tour, when we really kind of hit a stride, especially we went all the way up to Philly and all the way back, and on the way back through, heading home, we really seemed to hit a nice, like a slipstream, when you get behind that massive, 18-wheeler doing 95 miles an hour and you just jump in that slipstream, it's just nice and smooth, and it just felt like that, there was just,
it was a very easy tour.
What do you think, Heidi?
I thought it went really well, better than I expected. And near the end, it felt like we were really in a groove there. Yeah, I enjoyed the entire tour. It was fun to see all the places we went and the different venues. Every single one was great in a different way. The reception at each one was great. So it was neat to see. And this is hats off to you guys for what you've built over all these years. Just, for people to say, oh, I've been listening to you for 15 years. I can't believe you're here. Or, Chad, when we walked into the first place and they were cheering, you don't think of those things and then it happens. And it was neat. And the places that had never had us before, that, they were very into it and liked it. And the more we played, the better it got too. So it was exciting. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And it really is. It kind of makes you glad that you're not, working in a, pushing carts at the grocery store. You're sitting in a cubicle where hanging bricks off a cliff or whatever, but it just, we have chosen well. And I just, with each new member, which every time that we start working with somebody new, everything changes, because that personality changes, and not that the set list will change. The set list obviously is always changing, but it's the structure of the songs change. And Heidi and I were on the day off in Philly, we're messing around with a piece that she had written, which is I really like it. I really like it. I had to like it too, because she also she threw like hot coffee on me. She said, "You like it?" I said, "Okay," but it was just a night. It's a really really well thought out original piece, and I love melodies that move. That just not like a 1 2 3 repeat, 1 2 3 repeat, 1 2, or whatever. It was nice, and it moved a lot, and it had a lot of passion in it and stuff like that. So I had asked her to send me that. Of course, we get home, and what is she? There it is waiting for me. Just like, oh yeah, you asked for it. You go, wow, what a shock. So that was cool. And then and the other thing is too that there's a language that you develop, and I really think that once we were on the homeward stretch, I think that we had developed that thing. There's that unspoken thing that you can just telepathically communicate, and you do that with music, and a good band is constantly listening and just doing their own thing, and again, this is not sour grapes, but I mean there was three sets of ears that were wide open, So
that's every good band. You develop a language over time, and it's sometimes it happens faster with some individuals and some groups, some people than others. But that's just to wind back. That's why it's a little bit of a blow whenever somebody announces they're leaving or somebody has to get fired or whatever. It's always like, because you've got to kind of imagine how this space is going to be filled again, because it really is reliant on an individual filling that space. You can try to imagine what it's going to be like next, but you really don't know. So it's been like you say, it's changed every time. So I'm looking forward to whatever the next phase is going to be.
I know that. So the first phone call I made was to Heidi, and I called her. I said, "Hey, by the way, remember that drummer that we played? Yeah, just forget him because it's gone." So, but in your, I credit to you, Heidi. I mean, it wasn't well, fuck, or it was just like, oh yeah, well, I saw that coming. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't fuck or well, but it was just the right, hey, don't worry about it, move on kind of thing. And of course there's the initial shock because it was, but like I said, when people are using their ears and they're using it, you can hear that coming, and you did, to your credit.
Yeah.
But you hope that you would at least honor what what was on the count. But anyway, so I have to say that some of the responses were just fucking classic. I wish I could tell you what. I wish I could, but I talked to a couple of people. I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, I would like to kill a song. How about you? Anybody else in the mood to kill a song?
Yes, please.
Yeah. I said kill a drummer, and they said no, Jones. I said, okay, let's do a song.
No, hammer, don't hammer.
I'm only kidding. Killing. So who goes first? Ladies first? Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
That was worth it just for that. Chad, you want to go first?
Sure, yeah. I had to do some research on this just because it's one of those things I knew the tune, but I never made an effort to find out who it was or what the song's called because it's fucking horrible. All the Small Things by Blink 182.
Whoa.
Thank you for filling that song.
It's so the whole melody is that's basically the whole song, and it's mind numbing because you can tell the beat. It's kind of like this Ramones type beat, kind of back of thing kind of beat, but it's just what did they actually learn from the Ramones if they don't know how to write a good melody? I don't know, and I don't really understand why that song was such a big hit. You still hear it all the time, and it's terrible.
Thankfully, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, good one.
Oh, good. I hope it stays so.
Yeah,
you'll hear it. I know you've heard it, but you probably maybe successfully tuned it out.
Yeah. You got one, Heidi?
I do. Well, I have a couple, and I'm trying to decide which one.
Do them all. Kill them all.
Along the lines of that Blink 182 is the Don't Stop Believin'. I don't want to hear it again, nor do I want to play it again anytime. Like the whole song.
You've played it before?
I have, yeah. I mean, it's a fun party band song, right? So every once in a while, if I'm in that situation, they pull it out, and I'm like, okay, I'll play the two notes that go back and forth for the whole song, or at least for that part. But I don't know. It's an okay song. I'm tired of it.
It's so overdone.
Especially in recent years, I think it's been just way overplayed. It's become like the new latest thing for people to play it towards the end of the night and in a bar. It's like, God,
and at the end of the night too, I'm not going to mention their names because it's Fido in Austin and they're gone. But they had a playlist at the end of the night, and they would play that song and Welcome to the Jungle and fucking Bohemian Rhapsody, and they were playing. Now, you understand why they play all these songs because people would go arm in arm and they'd sing them. The worst part is it's that fucking hen party, that bachelorette party at the end, and they're all singing it like they're fucking on stage. Oh my God. And they did. And it wasn't Fido and Austin that picked that song. It was corporate in Atlanta. So they would send these tapes or however they fucking sent it, but they would send these these tracks to them, and then at the end of the night, we're packing up and we can't get this shit in the van fast enough. I know that there was a couple of nights where we toyed with the idea of if we set it on fire, maybe we'll get the insurance, and then we won't have to listen to the But oh my God, that song, yes, killed
Yeah,
it.
there was a period towards in the later year, maybe it wasn't the later, it maybe the mid period at Fido, where because the management had changed, and there's somebody else who was in charge of that at corporate. Because I remember the set list. I mean, the playlist they had always had annoying things in it, but there was also a lot of good shit in there as well.
Yeah.
There was some Thin Lizzy, there was some Horse Lips and things like that. And then at some point, I can't remember what years, it just got really, really bad, and the staff was complaining about it, we were complaining about it, but there's nothing anybody could do because it was handed down from corporate. So I hate that was really the only thing about Fido that was unfortunate, is that there were aspects of it that they couldn't control. Everything about it that made it great were the things they could control, but that never made any sense to me that somebody who'd never set foot in the pub was deciding what music they were going to play. It's just like, it's the same mentality that's behind the Clear Channel radio stations and things like that.
Yeah.
It's a fucking plague on society.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go with another old one. Just and this has been we've talked about this at length before, and for good reason. But L.A. Woman, The Doors.
The Doors.
Yeah, I mean, fucking, all the doors should be closed and burned. And burned again. But yeah.
Is there anything specifically about that song that annoys you, except the fact that you hear it all the time?
Yeah, going back a few episodes too, I spoke about how these bands kind of do this dun 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 dun, oh my baby, dun, dun, dun. It's, to me, it's a cop out. You just got that tired same. Now again, I wrote Second Worst Girlfriend. That's kind of a cop out, but I did put, let's try to put a little change in there, but it's not that 12 bar, just that's whoa, this morning, and repeat, just, so LA Woman to me is just one of those things you could probably write in about 2 minutes. And then if you're high enough, you could write the lyrics in one, and then, and then you put the band behind it. So it just, to me, it always seemed like a shortcut, but it's an annoying shortcut. It's a shortcut, where you get, tased every step, it's just, So LA, I'm not a Doors fan either, but that song in particular, that was just one. So
I've said it before. The only really redeeming thing about that track to me, and that whole album is I don't know the album. I only know that song. Jerry Sheff, who later went on to play with Elvis, played bass on that record.
Yep.
So they hear the do 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 do. That's Jerry. So that's the best thing about that song.
And then, is there anything that you would like to maybe illuminate, maybe shine light on, maybe just lift up, reintroduce?
Yeah, I was thinking about this last week too. I may have talked about this album before, but this also kind of goes in the category of bands that I don't particularly care for. But they have one album that I will listen to from start to finish without skipping a song, and that's Jethro Tull's album called Benefit, which is the third record they put out. And a lot of people I know who know Jethro Tull don't really know this record. It doesn't really have any hits on it. It did later. There's a single they had called Teacher that they wound up putting on it like after the fact, but that wasn't actually part of the album. The album itself is not really that commercial. They're really tight little catchy songs that are, to me, don't really sound much like where they're going. And because they went off in this really heavily prog direction after that. And those songs I just think are really great and just completely underrated. Nobody really talks about them. So yeah, Benefit. It's also the second record that Martin Barre, one of my favorite guitar players, even though I'm not a huge Jethro Tull fan, I love Martin Barre. He's a kind of like similar to Tony Iommi for Black Sabbath. He's a riff master. He's just is really great at coming up with catchy riffs, and which is kind of funny because Tony was almost the guitar player for Jethro Tull before they found Martin, a couple of years before that. So yeah, really, and as far as that's concerned, Martin has some fantastic stuff on that record. So anyway, Benefit by Jethro Tull. You should check it out.
There you go. Heidi, anything we should know about?
I was listening to on my way home, which was kind of a long way home, Billy Joel, and just kind of remembering how many songs of his that I really, really do like and hadn't listened to in a really long time. Everything from Piano Man to Uptown Girl to She's Got a Way He just has so many that are great. The lyrics and vocals. Not that he's the most amazing vocalist, but um, I think he sings with such passion and meaning, and like
Mm-hmm.
really into his songs. Like if anyone can,
Yeah,
I don't think anybody else can really do his songs justice.
Humor. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got
I
a ton
agree.
of
Yeah, humor. Yeah.
he's got a ton of humor in there too, and I think I don't think to me his delivery and his style is so honest. That there's no that Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, that song. Uh, you just don't come across that every day, and for as as a songwriter, I just don't have enough limbs to give to write something along that. I mean, just lyrically,
Yeah.
forget the whole song, just lyrically to put that. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the stuff that's overplayed. If I heard Piano Man, I'd probably throw a piano, but but brilliant. I mean, if you could take that song or American Pie or one of those songs, it just got fucking destroyed. And if you could take that song, just all right, just calm down, just don't play it every 2 minutes, and let it. So that song might not be but yeah, you cannot deny his. I think he's got that tongue in cheek stuff that I just really dig. He's not. Yeah, there's not a lot of writing. Mark Knopfler to me doesn't write anything like Billy Joel, but they both have that. There's a humor in there, and there's a undercurrent, in a lot of their stuff where you go, kind of.
Are there any of his records in particular you can think of, like his early stuff that?
Not that I was listening to like greatest hits, I think, because I hadn't listened to him in so long, and just
Yeah.
listening to that, there's just nothing is exactly the same. So you're kind of if you haven't heard like Piano Man in a really long time, then it's like, oh yeah, now I remember why that became
You,
so popular. Then it got
yeah.
overdone and destroyed, but if you haven't heard those in a while, and you hear them again, and there's so much going on in his songs, so
Mm-hmm.
cleverly put together, and like you said, so honest. So yeah, I think I was just listening to greatest hits, so I would have to go back and like look at the album and pick one, but yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I think most of his stuff that I can think of, I only know, there's a lot of songs of his I love, but it's all pretty much the hits that I know, even though I do the one album of his that I actually bought that I've listened to a lot is Nylon Curtain, which is a great album, but the best songs on there are the singles, I do love a lot of that stuff, but he's somebody I probably should actually go back and listen to more of his like deep cuts and actual, because I don't really know much of his non-hit material.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, another song of his that I really liked, I think it was the '90s, was the Downeaster Alexa song. And again, the correlation with he and Mark Knopfler is they're both either fishermen in a past life, or their family are nautical, something or other. It's but that song
Yeah.
to me is. I spent a very very short time in Alaska, 3 months. That's probably a really long time actually, for Anchorage. But the I heard the song Downeaster Alexa years later, and I was able to, believe it or not, listen to that song, listen to Downeaster Alexa, and envision the fishermen in Anchorage. Again, I should say too that I met a bunch of a bunch of those guys up there that worked on the thing, and there was that song spoke to me. It painted the picture of deep sea fishing and blah 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 blah, and so without getting off on a tangent, but
So
Mark
what's his,
Knopfler, same thing with his
yeah.
his songs. Chad and I have often said, "What the hell is it? How does he know so much, and why is it so perfect?" And blah 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 blah
Back over. What's the name of the Billy Joel song again?
blah. Downeaster Alexa.
Downeaster Alexa. Okay, I never
Yeah.
heard of that before.
Oh,
I
really?
don't think I've
What do
heard.
you got?
I gotta
Oh,
Yeah.
look it
I'm
up
gonna
now.
check it out. I think it's on the Stormfront Stormfront record. It also had that song that I think Garth Brooks covered of his, and of course it escapes me, and I don't care.
I was just going to mention the two Mark Knopfler songs we're referring to. There's at least two. I don't know if there's more songs he's written about fishing, but there's what's the one? The Trawlerman song. Yeah, I think it's called Trawlerman. The Trawlerman. It's in the lyrics anyway. And then there's the one about the ship that's being beached, called "So Far from the Clyde." Both of them just absolutely gorgeous. And that the Clyde song is one that this has happened with a few songs with you on tour when you're driving those late night stretches where everybody else is asleep. There was one time we were playing into dawn, or we were driving into dawn somewhere in the Midwest. I can't remember where we were, but you put that song on repeat, I swear, for like 2 hours. It was, that's all you were listening to is you got fuck, and you started over again and listened to it. And it, surprisingly, I'm not sick of it. After that, I love that there's certain music that's like, it just makes me feel like I'm on the road. And that's one of those songs. It's weird to listen to it at home because I can actually, that's why, because we're so used to listening to it in a van. Listening to it at home is kind of trippy because you can actually hear things you can't hear in the car because of the noise of the road and everything. But I always associate that music with the road.
Yeah. Well, give it a listen if you're remotely curious. It's just listen to it and just see what you think. I have to before this tiny little spark goes out in my head, I got to get this out. But I've been listening to and I've spoken about it before, but I've been listening to some Ian Jury and the Blockheads, and I've been listening to them because lyrically. You want to talk about just brilliant, just kind of crass, kind of just dancey, kind of poppy, kind of reggae, kind of ska, kind of. But I talked about Madness a few weeks ago, but Ian Jury and the Blockheads are huge influences on people like Madness and Specials and all these. But I was listening to a lot of that. However, that's not what I was just that's what I was kind of going back and forth and just like really digging into old stuff. But the stuff that I've been listening to last few days has been Rammstein. And my daughter, my daughter's a huge Rammstein fan. And I've always liked them because the beat, think 80s pop mixed with the just heavy heavy rock with just incredible breaks and stuff. Very, very like death metal dance hall music, or if you can. It's not blurry fast. It's just great beats, great rhythms, great guitar, but then really, really cool pop stuff in between, and vocals that are just out of this world. Anyway, so Rammstein, but the song that she was playing for me lately was called Dicke and Titten. So if you speak German, you know what it means. If you don't speak German, it means praise Allah. But it just starts off with this this big band playing polka, and then comes in with their stuff, and it's just crushing. So that's what I was listening to. But I do need to ask. There are 1, 2, 3. I need to ask everybody's opinion. This comes in from Philadelphia, boys and girls. A young lady named Emma. Her real name is not Emma, but I call her Emma because I'm a gobshite. Emily, our friend Emily from Philadelphia, she wanted to ask y'all, what do you think of Bob Seger?
Ew.
I don't really think of Bob Seger.
I don't think of him at all. I killed one of his songs last week. Siri, did I cut that out of the show? I can't remember. Bob Seger. To be fair, all I know are the overplayed songs of his that we were assaulted with all throughout my youth. Turn the Page and old time rock and roll, which of course became famous in Risky Business.
Yeah, come on.
Against the Wind. Yeah.
Main Street.
What's the other one? There's something. Yeah.
There's a
what's
1,000.
The one about the night. Yeah.
Like a rock.
Yeah.
Like a rock.
Like a rock. Yeah. Suffice it to say, it's not really my thing. To me, that a lot of his songs, and then he's not bad. He's not bad. Actually, fucking Rosalie, Tin Lizzy turned that into a fucking killer song. I'd never heard the original. But there's a reason why Philo loved that song, and it's when he plays it, it's fucking awesome. But I don't really. All I know are those overplayed radio hits. I don't know anything else about Bob. So to be fair, I don't. He's not really my thing.
Yeah.
But I think he's a talented guy. But he's just not my thing. But maybe I should listen more to him. I don't know. Philo liked him. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Good enough reason, I think.
Heidi, what do you think? What do you think of?
It's okay. I mean, okay. I don't know.
All right. I have to give him you have to tip the hat for those hits, because that doesn't those songs don't become anthems for a generation for nothing. They were aimed and they were executed and they hit the mark. Again, it's not something I would listen to I did play. I have played on a few occasions on the solo acoustic shows. I did play Turn the Page.
Yeah.
And I did it in a little bit different, little kind of like a swingy kind of feel. And I have to say I enjoyed the song. It's one of those songs that that once you've been on the road more than once, once you've been out a few times, that song has got a lot of miles in it. It's got a lot of history in it. It's got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. He's that song wasn't written like a I can't think of a poser other like if that local band that you go to see, that plays the top 40, what's on the radio right now, and then next week we'll play what's on the radio right then, and so on and so forth. Those guys, if they write a song about being on the road, you kind of know that it's only the road that goes out of their neighborhood and then right back in. It's there's no weight to it. Bob Seger has written these songs from a place that you only get. I didn't give the song the time of day until I played it. Somebody had asked for it, and I just kind of stumped. Yeah, I think I know that one. Yes, you do know that song. If you've heard it one time on the radio, it's got that kind of. So I wouldn't say I was a fan, but you got to say that guy knows how to pen a hit, but he also knows how to put a little life in it, a little bit of his.
Yeah, for sure. I will say now that I'm thinking about listening to you talking about this, there is one song of his I actually like, even though it is pretty much it is definitely overplayed, but I don't think I've ever really gotten sick of it, is Night Moves. I think that's a pretty good song.
That's a good song.
I like that really simple chord change. It's just really simple and extremely catchy. And like that, like you're just saying, he is totally singing from the heart with the subject matter in that song.
Yeah.
And it's brilliantly, it's something that almost everybody can relate to, no matter what your line of work is.
That's what I was trying to say. Anyway, so I cannot thank you enough, Emily, for all the stuff you've done. And you know what it is. She's been a reason why we keep getting when my sister Sinead locks the door, Emily gives us the key. We're very grateful. She's an angel. But yeah. So listen, we've kept you up way past your bedtime, Chad, and Heidi. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for coming back and doing this. We're going to try to get her on again next week. But we're going to be releasing some dates here, and as soon as we can get that. The flying drummer back then, that can fly to Phoenix and get you, and we'll do some more local stuff with you. But I promise you, the next time that you come in, we're going to do something in Houston before we leave, because people are beating the door down, asking you to come back.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would love to. That sounds great. That sounds.
You don't have a choice. We have it. Remember that thing I said? Oh, autograph that for that was a contract. We have you down.
Oh.
You're welcome.
If this Northwest thing actually does happen, at the tail end of that is a College Station date, and I think it's either, I can't remember what it is. It's either Home Sweet Farm or Black Sparrow that weekend.
Yes,
on the calendar with the verified that. So we will have some regional show. Taylor, okay, we'll have some regional shows for you to consider, if you unless you have to fly home after that. But
I
so
have no
yeah.
plans. I have no plans. But I have to tell you guys that the response in Phoenix, just the messages I got after the news came out on Tuesday. In fact, I started getting messages and then went on Facebook and saw, that it was announced. So I was really taken aback and felt horrible, that I was getting messages that friends that had even moved north of Phoenix to Flagstaff, and which is like a 3-hour drive, or Prescott, which is a couple hours, they were coming down to the Wolfhound to see us, do a show together. And the response from them could not have been sweeter. Just like, are you okay, Heidi? Like, let us know when you reschedule that, because we'll be there. We were bringing friends, so let us know. So I wanted to tell you guys that the people here were very supportive too. They're excited for whenever we do reschedule, and so we'll
That's
have
fantastic.
to do that. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, along those lines too. That's one of the biggest things that figured into us making this decision so quickly to have to cut that tour was the Vegas thing. A lot of people we knew were going to be meeting us there. The longer we waited to make that decision, the worse off it was going to be for them with booking flights and everything. I'm sure some of them were probably already inconvenienced anyway, and I really felt sorry about that. Unfortunately, there's nothing we could do about it. But we can't just think of ourselves when we're doing these things. So
why not?
Anyway.
Why not? No, but I have to drill in on that point again, because we're not going to take a product that we've spent so long building and molding and getting it, and then not just kind of mess it all up and then just take out a weaker thing. We're not going to do that, because we've spent. Of course, Chad and I have done the years, but Heidi's also had to run, had to sprint through that length of time to get to where she got. And she just destroying this stuff by the time we were done, and destroying in a good way. Not in a, but this fucking language is the worst, Oh, yeah, bad to the bone. What? No, I mean, good, all that shit. I hate it. Anyway, but just really spent so much time working to get the stuff to the level that it's at. And then, and then we show up in a van, go, oh, by the way, so new guy, we're going to take out this part, just got to where, so it's not going to happen. We're not going to do it. And we're not going to take a lesser, if we change anything, we're going to bring you more. We're not going to half-ass it. So, it's like I say, it's a kick in the gut. It's that's my friend Bon Jovi said in Fairy Tale. Yeah. Have we killed that? Have we killed Bon Jovi's Fairy Tale? Kids, if you
killed it several times.
We made fun of it for a while.
a little bit. But listen, kids, seriously, slapperheads, if you have any time today, listen to Fairy Tale of New York by John Bon Jovi. You are going to have you're going to think it's Christmas in hell, but you're going to love it.
If there really was a Santa Claus, they'd bring the comment section back for that on YouTube, so you read all the comments.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it was brilliant. It was glorious while it lasted, and unfortunately, they took them all down.
Yeah.
Oh, well. It was a work of art.
And word around town is you're no good in bed. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another ad lib.
Oh man. Yet it's funny that Bon Jovi doesn't strike me as somebody who doesn't have anybody around him to say no, but apparently he's surrounded. That's all. Maybe his people just don't know any better. I don't.
They probably did say
somebody
no,
had to have been shaking their head going.
Yeah. They said
they probably
no.
Did say no.
He heard go. He's like, oh, but torture. But so we're always delighted to hear your lovely comments and to for everybody's feedback and your help through this time, and you're spreading the word and whatnot. Thank you. And if you're a drummer and you're listening and we haven't got back to you yet, I promise we are. We've just been buried in no shit either. I mean, no crap. These guys have been everybody we've talked to has been a monster. So we're trying to start with the full time so we can figure out what we have and how to move forward, because she looks all sweet and innocent here, but Heidi will break your fucking bones if you show up and you don't have your stuff done. So so we're
right. Yes. So if you are interested in working with us, there's a blog entry on the website that tells you essentially what we're looking for and tells you what to do, how to get in touch with us. We will be in touch with you as time allows.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in, and and don't be afraid to kill a song. If you want to kill a song, let us know. We'll kill it right here. We have no fear.
Yeah, you can email us actually for that purpose. You can email us at slappercast@blaggards.com.
Woo-hoo!
Any songs you want to kill or any questions you have?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So let's do it again.
We'll see you next week, folks.
Yeah.